So here is 10 years of brutally honest fat loss advice in 10 minutes. So if I had to start all over again, where I was over 20% body fat, I was out of shape, and I'd never lost fat before, this is exactly what I'd tell myself to lose fat and keep it off. Over the past decade, I've coached a lot of men and helped them to lose fat and get lean, and most of them struggled with the same three things: confusion, frustration, and inconsistency. So today I'm giving you something different. Not the usual calorie deficit and eat protein advice you've heard 1,000 times before, but the hard-won lessons no one's talking about. The things I learned the hard way for over 10 years, and what my most successful clients all have in common. No fluff, no gimmicks, just 10 unconventional fat loss truths that could save you years of wasted effort. So if you're serious about losing fat, then make sure to watch this video all the way till the end. Number 1, the leaner you get, the harder it gets. So here's a brutal truth no one wants to admit. Fat loss gets harder the better you get at it. Most people expect fat loss to get easier over time. You know, if I can just lose the first 10 pounds, the rest will just fly off. But it's the exact opposite. As you lose body fat, your body starts fighting back. It sees fat loss as a threat to survival. So what happens? Hunger hormones like ghrelin go up, satiety hormones like leptin go down, your metabolism slows, you have energy crashes, and your cravings spike. And this doesn't happen when you're shredded. It kicks in around 15 to 20 pounds of fat loss, sometimes even earlier. And that's when people give up. They start to say things like, my diet has stopped working, but the truth is, it's still working, but your body is just working harder to stop you. And that's why smart coaches use strategies like refeed days, diet breaks, or even reverse dieting phases to give your body a break and to reset those fat loss hormones. This isn't just about pushing harder, but it's about pushing smarter. So if you've hit a wall around week 6 or week 8, just know that it might not be you, it's your biology. So don't quit, adjust, and that's what separates long-term transformations from short-term weight loss. And this is what I've had to do numerous of times to get shredded. And the thing is, once you do get shredded, then you can slowly start to increase your calories back up, reset that metabolism, and then it actually becomes easier to maintain. Number 2, stress can physically block fat loss. So here's what most people don't realize. Your stress levels can literally make you fatter, even if your diet is perfect. If you're constantly anxious, underslept, or overtrained, your body starts to produce more cortisol, the primary stress hormone. And elevated cortisol levels have been linked to increased belly fat storage, water retention, poor sleep, sugar cravings, and even muscle breakdown. So when fat loss stalls, most people think eat less and train more, but the answer might actually be the opposite. So rest more, walk more, and breathe more. Managing stress levels through walking, journaling, nature, sleep, and even saying no to extra responsibilities isn't being soft, it's a fat loss tactic. You see, you could be doing all the right things, but if you're constantly stressed out, then you could be promoting fat storage, which can hinder your fat loss progress. And that's why, in my opinion, managing stress levels is underrated and should be promoted more in the health and fitness industry. Number 3, the first 5 to 10 pounds that you lose is mostly water weight. The first 5 to 10 pounds that you lose on any diet is not fat, it's mostly water and glycogen. So here's what generally tends to happen. When you reduce carbs or calories, your body starts to burn through stored glycogen, and each gram of glycogen holds around 3 to 4 grams of water. So when it's gone, you start to lose water weight very quickly. And that's why people say, oh, I've lost 8 pounds in my first week. But then when week 3 hits and the scale doesn't move, they panic. But here's the truth. This is normal. Real fat loss is a slow process. And on average, it's around 1 to 2 pounds per week if you're in a moderate calorie deficit. Understand that early weight drops are water, not fat. Fat will slowly start to come off afterwards if you're consistent. Now, don't get discouraged by this. Just know that it's a normal process. And if you're in a sustainable calorie deficit, then just continue how you are. Number 4, poor gut health equals cravings, fat gain, and fatigue. If you're bloated, constantly hungry, and crashing after meals, it's probably not your willpower, it's your gut. Your gut microbiome controls way more than your digestion. It affects your energy, mood, appetite, and how efficiently you burn fat. A dysfunctional gut means more cravings, more inflammation, and worse blood sugar control. Modern diets with all of this processed crap and millions of ingredients destroy gut health. To fix it, start to include fermented foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, and kefir. Also, start to add plenty of veggies, fiber, and remove the ultra-processed garbage. Heal your gut and you'll find it way easier to eat less, train, and feel good doing it. Number 5, your social circle might be keeping you fat. Ever notice how when your friends drink, you drink, when they order pizza, you do too? That's not a weakness, it's social conditioning. We're tribal by nature, and most people unconsciously lower their standards to match their environment. So if your social circle normalizes things like fast food, skipping workouts, and weekend binges, then you will too, and even if you're motivated. Now, this doesn't mean to ditch everyone completely, but it does mean you need boundaries. Set the tone, be the one who trains, be the one who tracks, and if people mock it, then that's your cue to level up your circle. Remember, you can't out-discipline a toxic environment. Unfortunately, a lot of us get trapped in environments like this. Things like fast food, alcohol, partying, vaping, smoking are all normalized in this world. And 90% of people don't actually care about their long-term health. They just care about feeling good in that moment. And these kind of people don't have a good physique and they don't have a healthy lifestyle. So you have a choice. Do you want to be like one of them? Or do you want to be the one that stands out from the crowd? And I understand that sometimes it's not your fault you end up in an environment like this, but it is your fault if you choose to stay there, where ultimately it's just going to drag you down and stop you from reaching your full potential. Number 6, don't cut fat too low. Your brain needs it. Low-fat diets kill results and your mood. Fat is essential for producing hormones like testosterone and estrogen, maintaining your brain function, and regulating your nervous system. When people drop fat too low, especially under 20% of their daily intake, they start to experience things like brain fog, irritability, sleep issues, and hormonal crashes. So if you're eating like a bird and still can't focus or sleep, your issue isn't carbs or calories, it's usually just dietary fat. So include healthy fats in your diet like salmon, avocado, olive oil, eggs, nuts. Don't fear them. You need them to function and lose fat efficiently. Number 7, you can be in a deficit and still store fat. Fat loss isn't just about eating less, it's about your body being willing to burn fat. So here's the paradox. If you're constantly underslept, stressed, or inflamed, your body may respond to being in a calorie deficit by holding on to more fat. It becomes this protective survival mechanism. You might be in a deficit, but if your recovery sucks, your hormones are imbalanced, and your stress is chronic, then your fat loss will slow down and can even stall. Remember, recovery isn't optional, it's a fat-burning signal. A deficit could be perfect, but if everything else is off, then it's just going to make fat loss that much harder, and therefore you may not see results, which could demotivate you and lead you to giving up. And in that moment, you may feel like a calorie deficit is a myth, but in reality, you may just need to fix other areas of your life so that the calorie deficit starts working for you. Number 8, most people don't know when they're full. So modern eating isn't about hunger, it's about habits. People tend to eat when the show ends, when the bag is empty or the plate is clean. When I ask clients to eat slowly without their phone, their TV or laptop, what happens? They naturally eat less. They realize that they were full halfway through. Fat loss isn't always about strict tracking. Sometimes it's just about reconnecting with your signals. So eat slower, chew more, really focus while you eat. And you may be amazed on how much less you need because you're paying more attention. So with this kind of work from home world we live in, people are a lot more comfortable. They binge watch a lot more TV, and that's why Netflix's stock has gone through the roof. And this leads to more comfort eating. And majority of the time, you don't eat until you're full. You generally eat until the show ends. Sometimes you don't realize that you're full up because you're just distracted. Now, I know it's boring, but I would suggest to start paying attention to what you're eating instead of the show. And I would go as far as to say to not eat when you're watching TV because it ends up being a recipe for disaster. Number 9, 1 night of alcohol equals 3 days of fat storage. People think that alcohol only affects the night they drink. No, 1 night of moderate to heavy drinking can impact your fat loss up to 48 to 72 hours. So here's what happens. Alcohol lowers testosterone, spikes cortisol, kills REM sleep, increases cravings, reduces muscle protein synthesis, and inflames the gut. All of which are more likely you store more fat and lose more muscle mass. So you're not just ruining your Friday night, you're ruining your entire weekend. So drink less, drink smarter, and always weigh up whether the buzz is worth the delay in results. Finally, number 10, the goal is to lose fat without thinking about it. So if you're relying on motivation, you've already lost. The people that are lean and fit don't have more willpower. They just have better systems. Their meals are mostly on autopilot, their training is scheduled, and their environment is optimized. They don't need to think about staying fit. They've built a lifestyle that does it for them. The goal isn't to count calories forever. It's to master your habits that makes fat loss effortless. And that's when the game changes. Not when you're hyped up, but when it's just who you are. Remember, don't just lose fat. Build the lifestyle that keeps it off forever. So those are the 10 truths I wish everyone knew before they started. And if you internalize even half of these, you'll stop spinning your wheels and start making real progress. Smash the like button if this video gave you more clarity, and subscribe to my channel if you want more real fat loss advice with zero fluff. And let me know in the comments which one of these hit hardest for you. And up next is the 10 habits I quit for good to reach 10% body fat. So if you want to get shredded, then go watch this video over here.